Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. It's Amelia. Today I'm going to give you guys a full review of my current wig collection, and I'm also going to be doing a transformation into Kylie Jenner's Met Gala camp look. So that's why I have my eyeshadow done like this. I'm going to begin today's video with an unboxing from the brand Faux Wigs. I've seen them on Instagram. They sent me this wig, so I'm always down to try out a new one. Let's just go ahead and start off with the unboxing. Here's what the wig comes in, this cute little satchel bag here. So this is what she looks like. This was a $115 wig, so I'm hoping that it's going to be really nice quality. The color is very pretty. It's extremely long, and of course it is a lace front. So I'm going to give you guys some tips, some styling tricks that I do. I have everything from party wigs that are super cheap, like $10 and under, to more expensive wigs like this lace front. Speaking of my wigs, here is my current wig collection, you guys. I'm going to start off with my wavy white blonde wig. I also have my adorable sunset wig that I hand dyed. This was actually a party wig. My red wig and my hot pink wig. So that's my full collection right now. I've really downsized on a lot of them. Close-up of the part just so you guys can see what it looks like. Now I'm going to gather my supplies. I'm going to show you all the tips and tricks, and we're going to style this wig to match Kylie Jenner's camp gala look. What I like to do is just put the wig on right away just to get an idea of how this fits, and then we're going to cut the lace, we're going to lay it, we're going to give it some baby hairs. So the reason why I try on my wigs before I cut the lace is just to get an idea if I need extra coverage in certain areas and to feel how the wig is going to look on. So once I have it on, I have a good idea, I go ahead and grab a thin pair of scissors. The smaller the better. You can actually use hair cutting scissors for this part. And what I like to do is give about a centimeter of lace from the wig and then cut the excess off. So that centimeter is going to be a perfect amount for me. I can add foundation on top of it to blend it into my scalp, but right now I'm just going to finely cut it around the wig and the sideburns of the wig as well. After you've cut your lace, you can either style your wig on a mannequin head or do what I'm doing. I opted to actually put it on and style it as I'm wearing it. So this next step focuses on the part and the hairline of the wig. I'm using tweezers. You can also use the pressure method using just your hands to pluck the part and the hairline. So what I do is I apply pressure onto the base of the wig so I don't rip the lace, and I pluck out tiny pieces of hair to shape the hairline and the part. You can elongate the part, you can change the part. Sometimes the hairlines of wigs are very straight, so with this method you can actually shape it to look more natural and fit your natural hairline. Before we move on to our next step, I want to go ahead and brush through the entire wig. And I just want to give you guys a recommendation. Wigs tangle so easily. I recommend starting at the bottom and not the top. I actually grip the bottom of my hair and I work my way slowly up to prevent damage and to prevent tangles. The brush I'm using is the wet brush. They sell it everywhere, Target, Walmart. You can use any type that you like, but I definitely recommend one that is made to prevent tangling because it helps out the wig. And especially with synthetic hairs, I don't recommend using natural hair brushes at all. So once I have it completely brushed through, I'm going to move on to the next step. Alright you guys, let's do some baby hairs. This part you're only going to need a pair of scissors. I prefer hair scissors, but try to find one that's a little bit more on the slim side. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to separate pieces of hair from my wig, and I'm going to cut in a downward motion, layering it. I want to make it thinner at the end. Some of my baby hairs are going to be really small and short, framing my forehead, and then I want some longer pieces that frame my face. So all I'm going to do is just move my handle down. I'm going to wiggle it back and forth to create these pieces that frame my face. And you can do this and style this to what you think looks best on you. But there's a baby hair there. So I'm going to keep going with that same pattern. I'm going to take small pieces of hair from my hairline, layer them. Remember to cut in that downward motion and take your time with this part. It's so easy to cut too thick of chunks. I'd say, again, I'm going to stick to that centimeter rule for the thickest amount of hair that I'm going to cut for my baby hairs. So don't go inches, don't make them extra thick. It will end up making the wig look choppy and uneven. Finally, for cutting, I just want to give you guys a tip. I like to kind of trim up the ends of my wig. So for this purple wig, I'm going to give it a blunt cut at the end. I want it all one length. But if you're into layering, that same technique I showed you is perfect to cut the ends. Cutting in that downward motion, taking small pieces of hair, that will create a more layered effect. And if you want to thin out the wig, that's the best way to do it. Got2b has this great product for styling wigs. It's called the Ultra Glued Invincible Styling Gel. This almost acts like a glue, so I use it for both my lace front and styling my baby hairs. So I'm going to begin with the baby hairs. You'll only need a very small amount for this product. I apply it directly onto the hair and I style it how I think would be flattering for me. So I like to do curved lines, apply it to frame my face. It just makes the wig look a little bit more natural. Now for using this to set it, this styling gel can also be used to set the lace front onto your scalp. What I do is I use the same amount, a very, very small amount. I apply it directly underneath the lace front and I set it using pressure. You can also use heat for this step, but please be very careful. You might end up burning the glue onto your skin. So I just apply it, I let it set. Our last step is a little bit of dry shampoo just to combat shininess. You can use any one that you want. I like the ones that have a little bit of white in them. So the Batiste Dry Shampoo Original is what I'm going to be using on my wig. Just a quick tip on securing the wig. If you still feel like the Got2b glue and the clips on the inside of the wig aren't enough, you can also just take a bobby pin and pin down the sides into your wig cap if you're still feeling like you're not secure. So now I want to show you guys a couple of different styles that I like to wear with my wigs, and of course a little bit of tips and tricks for keeping them in place in case you are wearing them for a long period of time. Let's begin with my favorite look I've been wearing all the time recently, which is the space bun look. I'm using leftover fluff or cotton from my DIY cloud project. I take a small handful of it and I prep the hair for the buns. So I like to get a pretty nice chunk of hair near the top or crown of my head, and I like to swirl it around the cotton that I have. This part's pretty tricky. You want to hold it in place as you wrap the hair around it, and make sure you have bobby pins in hand just to set it in place once you have it placed where you want it to be. The trickiest part of these space buns is making sure they look similar to each other. It's really tricky to make them look symmetrical and in the same place. I like to start with one side and try to mirror the other side to it, using the same technique of a small handful of cotton, wrapping the hair around it, and bobby pinning it into place. Our second look is a faux Dutch braid look. I love the thickness of wigs because you can really play around with different styles. This one's super easy to do. I start near the very front of the wig and I split off the hair into 3 sections. I try to follow the same technique as a traditional braid. If you're a little bit more crafty, if you're more advanced when it comes to braid styling, you can actually do a fishtail or Dutch braid. But for this look, I just use a traditional 3-strand braid. I started near the crown, the very base of the wig, and I worked my way down. Once the hair reaches about my jawline, I'm going to start pulling in the bottom pieces into the braid to transition it. This is going to give you a very chunky and full braid. And an extra step that I like to do whenever I do any type of braid is I like to fluff out the pieces. I pull them out of their strands to make them look bigger and fuller. For this particular style, you can go any way you want. You can do fishtail braids, you can do pig's tail braids. I like the faux Dutch look, and I thought I would include that because it will enhance that look of the baby hairs we cut, and it's a really fun, trendy look that's popular right now. Some more cute styles that I love to see are low ponytails, half up, half down looks with wigs, and top knot looks. I think these all are really cute. Another styling tip that I can give you guys is adding cute barrettes to your hair, another big trend right now that also enhances the look of the wig. Alright you guys, so we have come full circle. I've taught you guys the way I style my wigs, different techniques to lay the wig and make it look more natural. And this is the look I came up with. Honestly, it's like Kylie Jenner's Met Gala look meets Jared Leto for Gucci. But I had a lot of fun doing this. I have to do my own little twist with things. And I want to end today's video talking about the wig itself and what I think of it, because this is the first time I've ever gotten a wig from Faux Wigs. And even though I've seen them on Instagram, I didn't realize that this was going to be this nice quality. So it was $115 for the Kylie Jenner wig. It's still being sold. They do have more affordable options if that's kind of outside of your price range. But one thing that stuck out to me, for the price point, I was really surprised at how this is not tangling on me. All my long wigs tend to tangle on me. The synthetic fiber that this wig is made out of is very, very soft. Being able to run my fingers through the wig is a weird feeling. Usually I can only do that with my hair extensions. And you guys saw me palm rolling this. It really holds curls nicely, and when you need to restyle it with heat, it upholds as well. So I will applaud it. I do think that the lace front is just kind of standard. I mean, nothing too extravagant about it. The cap construction is pretty standard as well. I think the quality of the synthetic is really, really nice, and I love the colors. So I have to applaud Faux Wigs, and I want to thank them again for sending this out to me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. It was fun to show you how my wigs look when I really put a lot of effort into them. And of course, playing with a new color is always fun. I haven't had my hair this color in quite a long time. I never got it this perfect, like this very light lavender color. So it's fun for me to be able to try on a different hair color. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I look forward to seeing you guys in my next one. Bye.